Good Monday morning, everybody. This is Carmen Sacramento coming at you live from my house in front of my big ass Christmas tree that I
Oh
put up
yeah.
this weekend. I have an article coming to you out of the state of Arizona, and folks, this one's about some Aspergillus. Says DHS offers details on marijuana recall process over Aspergillus concerns. Out of Phoenix today. There is currently an ongoing voluntary recall for certain marijuana products sold in Arizona dispensaries due to possible fungi contamination. Specific contaminant Aspergillus is a fungus that can cause allergic reactions or infections, especially in people who are already sick. There have been no reported cases of illness, and all potentially contaminated products have been removed from the store shelves. The AZDSH report says that the products are being voluntarily recalled from Globe Pharmacy Inc. And the article also lists several batch numbers. It says if you've recently purchased items you believe may be included in these batches, please return your product to the dispensary in Arizona. If your product is part of the recall, he says, you can you can take it directly to the dispensary or dispose of it in a dumpster. Head of the department says you can, quote, throw it in a dumpster, or if they have a big trash can that kids can't get into, maybe throw it in there. Disposing of it in a responsible manner, just to prevent kids from accidentally coming upon it, is important. Further stated, there's always risk of foodborne illnesses or just other illnesses from anything else that could be contaminated with these marijuana products. So I think it's very choppy what he's saying. His quotes are awful, but what he's trying to get at here is he's explaining that this product could be in edible or infused goods as well. If you ever buy a marijuana product recreationally or medically and believe it may not be safe for consumption or is contaminated in some way, you can inform Arizona DHS. And then he said if someone contacts us saying that they got sick from consuming a marijuana product that can be verified in a recall, they need to notify our department. He says, but at least of today, this has not happened. Be sure to reach out to your doctor as well if you feel like a marijuana product has in some way made you ill. Now, guys, this is a really generalized statement, and in one tiny sentence, they go ahead and mention this one particular company, Globe Pharmacy. But I'm really curious as to how this person is a head of a department, number one. This is Travis Ross from the Arizona Department of Health Services, right? And he's just all over the map with his statements about these products. There's 3 product codes listed, and he's saying that there's no concern, and no one's reported anything, but he's going into these deep dives about edibles and things, and this is such a hodgepodge article together. I don't know if any of you guys have had a chance to see it, but it's red alert all over the place, but don't worry. It's
I read it.
so
I didn't
confusing.
have the same. I read it. I didn't have the same takeaway. I like that he was talking about safely disposing of marijuana products, especially on the tail end of the article that I shared, where kids are eating things that they shouldn't. And I think I didn't find it to be quite as hodgepodgey. What I said is there's some contamination. We've had no known incidents as a result of that contamination. Speaking of contamination, if you're going to get rid of products, make sure you get rid of products in a way that doesn't allow them to become consumed by children. I ain't mad at him. I hope
Oh
I
Did
see
yeah.
him at
but
have a
did
pretty well
anybody
together.
else, I don't know, Yara, how many batches of products or recalls have you experienced on a manufacturing side?
Say that again.
I said, how many product recalls have you experienced in cannabis?
Well, personally, none. And also, none of the entities or operators that I've worked with have had that occur to them. Uh, But I do believe that a regulated supply chain and lab testing is probably one of the best things about regulated cannabis, in spite of all of its issues, in spite of people shopping for potency results, in spite of all the opportunities to make it better. When I heard from, a dreadlocked doctor who was writing medical prescriptions as I was getting my 215, prescription, that the things that we were putting on our cannabis could be deadly to us, even though the cannabis wasn't deadly to us. Um, and then I learned even 15 years later that the things we were putting on our cannabis that we thought were organic and therefore safe might have been organic to consume, but not organic to aerosolize or to go into
Yeah.
our lungs. I'm a big proponent of the regulated supply chain because of that. And I think these regulators, I mean, I think they're trying to call awareness to some of the other risks and using the headline or the press release as an opportunity to do that. I'm not mad at the guy.
I feel like it's really interesting that the guy who's supposed to be a part of enforcing proper disposal, just like, I'll just toss it in a dumpster. I mean, we do this, right? At home, I can't tell you how much weed I just discarded in my trash because it's old or,
Better
whatever.
some bud than a baby. I mean, if you're gonna put something in a dumpster,
You don't just give that stuff to homeless people?
That's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't give bad weed that's have a recall to somebody who's homeless. Come
Oh,
on.
not recalled weed, just old weed.
You said
It's
old
high in
weed.
CBN.
You
It
said
can help
old
them
weed.
relax.
Yeah, you said old weed, Mandy. You didn't say recalled weed.
Oh, I want to do that to anybody. Old weed.
Yeah, whatever.
Old weed's better than no weed.
They smoke way worse things than old weed, Mandy. Just on a
Listen.
regular.
You give away what you want. I'll give away what I want.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well. We have one more story before we close out today.